Your child's IEP tells the school what to do, but it doesn't tell the teacher who your child really is. It doesn't say when she seems like she's not listening, she's actually processing. Give her 10 seconds. And it doesn't say he loves marine biology and will do anything for the kid sitting next to him. But transitions are really difficult. That's the part that's on you. And there's a one-page letter that changes everything. Hey there, I'm Amanda Armstrong, and this is Insights from Insight. I'm a 20-year veteran teacher, nationally board certified, and my master's is in special education. And I'm a mom of 4 neurodiverse boys. Today, I'm going to show you the exact letter I want you to send to your child's teacher before the first day of school. It's 1 page, 4 sections, no legal jargon. And I'm going to back it up with a 2024 study that proves why this works, even with teachers who've never met you. And I'm going to tell you the 5 things you should never say in this letter, even though a lot of parenting guides tell you to say it. Let's get into it. So UCLA did this study in 2024. It was a randomized control trial with 170 families with children who were on the autism spectrum, and they were going through school transitions. Half the parents got individualized coaching on school communication, advocacy, and educational rights. The other half got a resource binder. Here's the wild part. When they measured outcomes, the teachers rated the transitions as better for the coached group, and the teachers had no idea which parents got coaching. The parents weren't trained on their child's behavior. They were trained on how to show up, and it changed what the teacher saw in the classroom. That's what this letter does. It's how you show up before the first day of school. So let's walk through the letter. It has 4 sections, and you're going to keep it down to 1 page. Section 1 is to tell the teacher who your kiddo is, not the diagnosis, not the IEP, the actual person. Sentences like, "My son loves Minecraft," talks about space constantly, and is the first kid to notice when someone else is upset. Leading with something like that makes the teacher want to know more about your kid, because the file on their desk, it leads with deficits. Your letter is going to lead with the strengths. Section 2 is all about what helps them thrive. This is where you name the diagnosis, but only in 1 sentence, and then immediately pivot to the strategies. Not 20 accommodations. Your top 3, the ones that matter most in a regular 50-minute class period. Things like a quiet signal when it's time to transition, or written directions in addition to verbal, or access to a fidget tool during direct instruction. The full IEP has everything else. This letter is meant to be the cheat sheet. Section 3 is all about the misreads, and this is the most powerful part of the letter, and I really want you to hear this. Most classroom conflict with neurodiverse kids happens because the teacher is misreading the behavior. They see a kid who looks zoned out, so they think disengagement, daydreaming, boredom, but it's actually overwhelm. Or they see a kid who won't start an assignment and they think defiance, when in reality, it's actually just an executive function overload. Or they see a kid who's bouncing in the chair and they think disruption, but it's actually regulation. Your job in this letter is to give the teacher the translation. Something like, when he seems like he's not trying, he's actually hit an executive function wall. The most helpful response is a calm redirect, not public correction. That 1 sentence prevents weeks of escalation. Section 4 of the letter is to make sure you end with partnership. You can write something like, "I know you have a ton of students, and I'm not asking for special treatment, but I am seeking out a real partnership. I'm available by email, by phone, and would love to connect early in the year." That's it. Not per his IEP, you're required to. Not "I'll be watching." Actual partnership. Now let's talk about the 5 things I see parents put in the letter that you should definitely not say. First are sentences that start with things like "you need to" or "make sure you." That's a directive, not a partnership. You want to replace something like that with "what works best for him is." Second is a sentence that begins with something like "his last teacher didn't." You're starting a new relationship with a complaint about the last one, the new teacher is already going to be defensive. Third is any statement that starts with something like he or she can't. Lead with can. He can focus deeply when the task is hands-on. Hits very differently than he can't sit still during a lecture. Fourth is about vocabulary. Things like I'll be watching to make sure. This is monitoring language and will make the teacher feel surveilled instead of supported. Finally is per his IEP, you are required to. I know, sometimes you do need to say this, but not in the first letter. Build the relationship first. Save the legal language for if the partnership ends up failing. Another pro tip is to remember that timing does matter. You want to send this 1 to 2 weeks before school starts. Just simply email it. Every teacher who will see your child. So if you have a middle schooler or a high schooler, that's 6 or 7 teachers. And you do need to customize the strategies for each one because what works in reading may not work in math. Then do the first week of school follow-up. Something like just checking to make sure you received my email. Happy to chat anytime. During weeks 2 to 3, request a 10-minute check-in. By phone, by email, by in person, whatever the teacher prefers. Ask things like, how is she doing? Or is there anything I can help with? And then monthly, which will be a brief touch base email, and keep the relationship warm before any issues arise. Don't wait for a problem to connect. The relationship you build now is the one that you'll need in November. Your child's IEP is a legal document. This letter is a human one. It says, I see you as a partner. I want you to see my child as a whole person. And that concept changes everything. In the blog, I've got a fill-in template, and the link is in the description. So you can go there and fill in your own kiddo's information. If you found this helpful, make sure to subscribe because we'll be talking about back to school stuff from here until September. And share it with a parent who needs to hear this as well. I hope this school year is your best year yet, and you and your student find a teacher who's ready to be your partner. I'll see you next week.